It's your boy B. As you know that I don't travel alone. I'm with Moremi, the general. On my left, I'm with Mia, the analyst. We're back. Shout out to Cynthia, shout out to Mujalifa, our number one supporter. He's always here. He's supporting us. I appreciate that. Guys, before we dwell in, are you good?
Yeah, man, we're good.
Mia?
Yeah, I'm great.
We had an epic weekend.
Yeah.
Nice football around the world. I was pleased. I want us to dwell much into APL, Chelsea, Tottenham battle on the field and also outside the field. Hey, it was hectic. What do you think, Mia?
Man, it was a great game. Emotions were very high in that game, I must say. But overall, for entertainment, it was great. So, hey, it was a beautiful game. The game ended in 2-2. It was a draw. Last minute equalizer from Tottenham. My thoughts about the game, I don't know where to start really, because I think there's a lot to talk about from both ends. Chelsea had a good game, but at the same time, I think that they had a lot of things to learn from. They did a lot of mistakes. Tottenham as well. I feel like Tottenham had a great start to the season, but the cracks are starting to show now after they played a very competitive game against Chelsea. So Chelsea, for me, the concerns really start with the 2 goals that they scored were scored by defenders. And my question is, what kind of an image, or what is that telling about the team? Going forward, they have attacking players that are not scoring goals, and this has been like a problem at Chelsea for some time now, right? So for me, of course, Sterling had a great game. He assisted Reece James. It was a beautiful assist, and he was, very attacking, going forward, making the runs, everything. But I don't know, like for you to be a team where game in, game out, you rely on your defenders to score goals. Meanwhile, you have attacking players. It's a questionable, thing. Like what is Thomas Tuchel's sort of game plan going forward? What is he going to do about this? You know what I mean? We expect the attacking players to score the goals. We expect to see Kai Havertz banging 2-3 goals, every now and then. So I don't know really, man. And I don't know, because at the same time they play very defensively, right? They use this tactic of they play 5 at the back, but it changes to it's a 3-4-3 that changes to a 5-3-2 when they defend. And for a team that's so defensive, they play 5 defenders and 2 defensive midfielders. I find it weird that they still concede goals. For the amount of people that they have positioned to defend, yet they still concede goals. I don't know, man. That's, you know what I mean? Like it's very questionable. So maybe the style of play needs to change a little. Maybe Tuchel should consider playing a back 4, perhaps. And I feel like maybe he's too stuck in his own defensive philosophy of play, right? And perhaps he should take a look at changing his philosophy, changing his tactics a little bit, because the thing about the Premier League is that teams learn how you play very fast. And once they've learned how you play, it becomes very difficult to win games. What I'm finding with Chelsea right now is that a lot of teams have figured out how they play, and they are now able to sort of like bring the fight. And I don't know, I don't think Chelsea really this season, if they don't change a few things here and there, are gonna go anywhere far. Because the first game, they should have beat Everton by a lot of goals. Everton have no attacking, force going forward at the moment. And they only scored 1, and it was a penalty that was scored by a defensive midfielder who is Jorginho. You understand? Their second game, they played Tottenham, and they draw the game 2-2, and the 2 goals are scored by defenders. So I don't know, 2 games in, I'm already saying, Chelsea, what's up? What's going on? You understand? But moving on to Tottenham's side, I think there's a lot of negatives that they could also look back on that game. Like, they're very open at the back. If you look at how the 2 goals were scored, the first one was scored from a cross that came in the corner, and Koulibaly was at the end of it. Beautiful volley, by the way, from Koulibaly. Great goal, yeah. But for me, it shows that if you see how open he was not marked. You understand? What kind of defending is that? He's a very tall guy, big guy. You'd expect that he'd be man-marked in the box, because clearly, if we're gonna cross the ball into the box, we're aiming for the tall guys, the big guys.
Probably one or two defenders
Exactly.
should track him. Yeah.
He should have been tracked down.
Yes.
And you look at that and you're like, no one was having eyes on Koulibaly in the first place. And then if you look at the second goal they conceded, where Sterling assisted Reece James, they were very open at the back, right? Very huge defensive errors. And again, Hugo Lloris, man, he has been off for a couple of seasons now. But I don't know, is he able to come back to that best? Is he able to come back to his best where we can say, you know what, he's again one of the great goalkeepers. So Tottenham, they as sharp as they're looking, they have a couple of things to fix as well. Kulusevski had an off game; he was off on that game, and you know the incident that happened towards the end, the VAR, is also questionable. We were questioning the consistency of VAR in the Premier League. You know, they don't have consistency in terms of sometimes they give fouls and penalties. Sometimes the exact same thing can happen in another game where a red card would be awarded, a yellow card or a foul or whatever, and something could happen in another game, exact same situation, and you find that there's no consistency in their decision making. So again, Premier League were questioning, you know, the decision making, and right there at the end, I feel like it was just like a high of emotions between Tuchel and you know, the little altercation that happened between Tuchel and Conte.
Muremi, I want you to based on the based on the profession of England football, what do you think of how Tuchel reacted towards Conte? I mean, it's weird. We don't expect that, and
but you know, we're trying to scrutinize only Tuchel.
Yeah.
But if you sort of recall, there was an incident prior to the end of the game where they had their chests, you know, whatever. Something happened there. That was the first thing.
Yeah.
So let's start with that. When that happens, I feel like Tuchel felt sort of hard done by. Because I mean, I think Conte had just equalized, and he did that.
Yeah.
So that raised the emotions. And now when Tuchel led again in the game, he went past the technical team of Tottenham to say, I'm back.
Yeah.
So now at the end of the game, that incident happened that he just mentioned about the VAR. And then I feel Tuchel felt hard done by again.
Yeah.
Now what he did is when they were shaking, I mean, it's like you conceded in the last 5 minutes of the game, you thought you had it in the bag. So he was obviously frustrated. And it's unprofessional. But both of them, I feel like both of them are at fault in this case. I can't say I can only blame the Chelsea manager. They were both at fault.
Yeah.
But that was a bit below the belt from Tuchel, to be honest. Because that's a short guy. I mean,
he let emotion get over him. I felt we don't have to see that in a professional league like England Premier League. Like honestly, I don't want that to happen ever again. While we're still at the APL, I want us to shift to Man U and Brentford. One-sided game. 4 goals was given. It was a gift, according to me. It was a gift. Yeah. I want you to break it down for us.
Yeah. That was the sinking of the Titanic. That's what I call it. Because I could go for days discussing that game. But it's sort of clear how Ten Hag wants to play.
Yeah.
Ten Hag wants to build from the back. That's okay. That is a good system. He's been playing that system for quite some time. But the question is, with the players he has, can he actually execute that? That is my biggest question. Because now, if you look at how he approached that game, he played Eriksen as a number 6.
Yeah.
He played Fred to sort of support him, and then he played Bruno in front of them in the midfield. He played Martinez and Maguire. And he played Shaw and who was on Adalo. Now it's a big problem because it's clear that Maguire was told to play through Eriksen. The problem is he forces passes. He passes to Eriksen. Now that poses a problem because now you look at the passes that he forced to Eriksen. Let's look at the first goal. The first goal, it was obviously fumbled by De Gea. That's a whole different story. De Gea has been off. But then I want to focus on Maguire a bit more. There was an incident where Maguire passed the ball to Eriksen. Eriksen tries to sort of angle the pass over to Dallo, and that fails. Soon as that fails, it puts Maguire in a position to commit a foul. That could have led to a goal. That could have easily led to a goal. Okay, that is the first incident. Now you have the second thing happening where De Gea does the same thing. He tries to force the ball to Eriksen. Eriksen does the same thing. He tries to angle the pass. They intercept it again, and it leads to the second goal. You look at the third goal, how it came about. It's a corner kick. United is just, they're all over. Their organization in terms of possession of the ball is so poor. It's so poor. You look at the corner, how they defended that set piece. Now, the guy who takes the corner crosses it wide to the far end. They were marked properly. As soon as the ball goes wide, Ronaldo zones out. He leaves his man. Now, if you look at the goal is scored in between Ronaldo and Martinez. They're both off, way off. Ronaldo could have defended that ball. Martinez switched off as soon as the ball went wide. That is a big problem as well. That is a very big problem. Again, you look at the fourth goal. What happens is Sancho is in the box. Sancho doesn't want to shoot the ball. He tries to take on too many people. They take the ball away from him. They pass it over to the defender on the end. He switches play. The forward takes the ball, same time pass over. Shaw is in no man's land. Maguire is off. If you were paying attention to that goal, you realize that when Eriksen is tracking back, he tells Maguire, he instructs Maguire, go wide, go back, try and track as fast as you can. Maguire is absent-minded. Therefore, he's caught in no man's land as well. When that forward on the side, who was on the wing, passes the ball same time over to his forward, Shaw is tracking back. Okay, arguably he could have pulled a Fede Valverde and tackled the guy, but he didn't. He didn't do that. So the guy takes the ball and he scores. Easy goal, 4 goals, all in first half. United is literally leaking everywhere. You cannot play Eriksen and Fred. Eriksen is very good on the ball. That guy is very good. But off the ball, he cannot play as a number 6 off the ball. Now you have Fred. I don't even understand Fred. I don't get what he is. Is he a 6? Is he an 8? I don't get it. Because he was always nowhere in the center. He's always on Shaw's side. It's a big problem as well. Because their positional play in the center was bad. They could literally run through them in the center all game. You look at the chances they had. United was just off. And I gotta admit that in as much as they were bad, they made a few changes. And in the second half, they sort of had a chance to sort of, turn the tide.
While we were on that, I had players are protesting that Maguire must not be fielded anymore. That's how bad it is.
No, but to be honest, you look at Ten Hag's options and you're like, you don't play Maguire, who do you play? Based on how he wants to play, Maguire can pass the ball. You have Varane, you have Eric Bailly. If you're gonna play any of those two players, who will actually be able to pass through the ball through into the center? Of those two, you can't. All you can do is play Maguire and hope that you play him with someone good enough to cover his mistakes.
I hear you, ne?
But
I feel like admitting that we can see that Maguire is a huge problem and still continuing wanting to play him and keep him as the club captain is problematic in itself. You understand? We need to show some sort of not just awareness or urgency, but like there has to be some sort of like a formidable, strong say Maguire, you're not the best player in the team, and you need to know that, and like you need to fight for your place. It feels as if Maguire knows even himself that he's gonna start.
He's got that position.
No matter how many mistakes he makes, because he's the captain of the club, and he always gets. I don't know what he has over the technical staff in the team, but he always starts. And I feel like for me, you cannot. There's times whereby you need to show him that now you need to fight for your place. And if he can start fighting for a place, perhaps we can see a better performance from him.
But like I asked earlier, if Ten Hag wants to play and build from the back, who can he build with apart from Maguire? Like honestly, because you look at Maguire, if you can coach Maguire pretty well, he makes good passes. The problem with his passes in the previous game is his timing was always off. You have Eriksen. Eriksen also made a mistake in I think, what was it? The ball that he got from Maguire. The second goal. He was not aware. He was not positionally aware. Because he could have easily turned because he could have easily turned to his right side. He didn't do that. He could have bit that forward way easily and passed the ball into the center. He was not aware.
The thing is, Muremi, so sorry to interrupt you. The thing is, when Maguire is with the ball, you end up no longer knowing what is he going to do with the ball. When Eriksen was past that ball, for me, mentally wise, he was off. He never thought Maguire could pass him that ball because already he had two players.
Yeah, I want to add a point to that. You can coach players, right? But when players are playing in the game, you cannot coach them.
The decisions that they take.
Sometimes the player needs to know when to go left,
when to go right.
Look,
yes.
And that pass he made to Eriksen, you can clearly see there's two men behind
Two
him.
men behind Eriksen.
Close enough to close him down.
Yes.
Okay.
And they did exactly
and he still wants to force the pass.
Yes. No, I get
other
that.
instances,
Let's go back to that pass. Let's go back to that. We can keep going back to that pass. Not only is Maguire at fault, he is at fault, I want to admit. He could have made other decisions, but Eriksen is also at fault. He's a number 6.
Yeah.
You can see that you have two players on either side. Now you're trying to angle a pass in between them. That is almost impossible. He could have easily returned the ball to Maguire. Why didn't he do that? Because that pass could have been made. What he did was he tried to pass the ball to Dallo. That was executing. That would have been pure genius.
Yeah.
He could have passed the ball back to because he was closed off.
Yeah.
That would have been a signal to Maguire that this pass is impossible. And then if you check the game, Martinez was trying to go wide. So had he returned that, then the guy was free on the side.
Yeah, I know we were getting
It's fine.
up. Yes, it's a good thing. Yeah, let's shift to Liverpool and Crystal Palace game. Good play for Crystal Palace. They came prepared. We all knew that Liverpool were gonna dominate the game. Unfortunately, they were caught off guard by a counter attack. Great finish by Zaha. You know, if small teams score first, what they do, they park the bus. And unfortunately, when they scored, they decided to defend. And worst part for Liverpool, unfortunately, Nunes let the emotions got over him, and he created a red card. It was a setback for Liverpool, and credit for them because they fought while they were missing one man. They fought until they equalized. It was a great game for me, but second draw consecutively. What do you think of that? In terms of a team like Liverpool, I don't know who can start.
No, he can start.
Can I add I want to add a point there. The Nunes red card situation. If you had been checking in that game, right?
Yeah.
What's the Anderson, the defender at Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
He was told to man mark Nunes. He was on his entire game. And an experienced defender like Anderson, right?
Yeah.
It shows that Nunes doesn't have much experience in the EPL yet, because he was told to man mark and he did exactly that. And he sort of like didn't go out of his way, but sort of did those extra little things to pump him up from minute one. Little nudges, pushes,
mind games,
shoulder nudge here and there, rough tackle, but nothing that gives him a yellow card. But he's showing Nunes that, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here.
You know that that's
Yeah.
like bumping each other's chests and stuff, right?
True.
So that got to Nunes. Nunes is still young. He's not.
he's
very young.
Yeah.
And his experience in EPL isn't that much.
Yeah.
He let his emotions get to him right there in that. I forgot what minute it was, but it was in the second half. Let his emotions get to him, and I don't know what Anderson said, but he said something there. If you can check the clip, he said a little something. Nunes reacted, and that reaction was just, it went downhill from there, you know. But it was a build-up.
It's been happening.
On Crystal Palace side, that would have been a job well done for Anderson, because he was told to do that. You can see that he was given instructions to do that.
If a player like Nunes go out,
but you know,
it's an advantage for the
I do
opponent.
agree with you, but I tend to think that happens in all the leagues. So even when Nunes was playing, given just how good he was before he came to Liverpool, he experienced that a lot. My thing is, he's been playing at such a level where he's been experiencing that. Why is it that in this particular game he chose to just let it all out? Because, I mean, if you are that good a player, you've been experiencing that. Why did he let his emotions get the better of him in this game? We can't say it's the first time he was exposed to that because he was young. No. Nunes is a good player, and he's been banging in goals wherever he was.
Yeah.
So he's been experiencing that. My question is, why did he let it get to him? It happens
Yeah, he
everywhere.
missed.
That is. I mean, that is rule number one in a defender's whatever.
No, I think he really just let the emotions get to him. And whatever was said, the thing is we didn't hear what was said, but Anderson did say something before. He pushed him and then said something, and then we saw the reaction.
He had to react. Unfortunately, the referee
He didn't have to
the
react.
end.
You didn't have to
Yeah.
react. You didn't have to.
Yeah.
You can just walk away.
It doesn't matter what they say. I don't think even Zinedine thinks that his headbutt was justified because Materazzi said something about his system. No, he regrets that.
Yeah.
You cannot ever have a reason to do that.
You have to stay
can't.
professional at all times.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah.
Well, before we are running out of time. Let's go to predictions now. We have a very, very big game ahead of us. Liverpool and Man United. It's a big game, yes, but we all know what's going on. So there's nothing I can say. I'm a Man United fan, but there's nothing I can say. Sometimes you have to let it be.
You know what? I don't know the score,
Yeah.
but I know Liverpool will win. I can say
I
that.
love your humility, guys. You've accepted rock bottom. Like you're settling in perfectly down there. I love it. It's nice.
I don't know the score, but Liverpool will win. That's all I'm saying.
Tottenham are facing moves.
Hey,
I think 1-0 Tottenham. Oh, the United game 3-1 easily. Yeah, Liverpool.
Who's gonna score for us? For Man U, who's going to score?
Eriksen. I think Eriksen will score.
okay. Tottenham Wolves. Wolves is a very good team, eh?
Yeah.
And they can frustrate a lot. But I think that Tottenham will come back fighting again, and not that Wolves are gonna just be a walkover. They won't be a walkover. The game will be tough, but I think Tottenham will win round about either 2-1 or 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You? What do you think?
For Tottenham against Leeds, Tottenham are going to win. Tottenham are going to win, I think, 2-0. 2-0. 2 goals from Son, yeah. And for us, Liverpool are going to score. Liverpool are going to score, and I don't think anyone is going to fight for Man U, so it's gonna be 3-0. Chelsea,
Not even one.
No, we're not gonna score.
No, but you created chances. You couldn't take your chances. I think you will score at least one. Dear consolation.
The
you will
thing
score
the
something.
thing is, even our strikers are not there.
Okay.
Mentally, they are not there.
Yeah.
So take a look at Rashford.
Yeah, no, I
He's
understand.
not
you.
doing good.
I understand
Sancho
you.
is not scoring goals. So
I totally get you. Who else is playing weekend?
Chelsea, yeah, Chelsea are playing. No, Arsenal. Arsenal are playing Bournemouth. Yeah, I think it's Bournemouth.
3-0.
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
I think Arsenal are gonna win as well.
Man City, Newcastle.
Obvious. Man City. Big score. 4 again.
You know, if you
Newcastle, they're
want,
not gonna score.
if you want Betway, just say over 2.5.
Yeah. Arsenal's gonna win against Bournemouth
Yeah.
by a good score.
Yeah.
And Man City's gonna win against Newcastle
By-
by a very good
Very
score.
good score. You know.
You said Chelsea's playing Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds.
That's a tough game.
Yeah.
It could be. I think Leeds will score 1 or 2. It could be a 3-2 kind of situation or a 4-2 situation.
Okay. No,
Now, people are unfortunately we ran out of time. We'll be back again maybe next week. Yeah, just check us next week. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. This is the only show in Africa where you get to express yourself. You can bash the coach, you can bash the players, you can bash VAR. I saw Mia bashing VAR. Like you can bash even the ball boys. So don't forget to subscribe, guys. We love you. See you next time.
Don't forget to bash the one that you're wearing.